The Muthaiga area is Nairobi's long-established Beverly Hills, lying along shady roads that wind through lush wooded hills and valleys, with streams that turn into rivers in the rainy seasons. The area is home to wealthy Kenyans, but is better known for diplomats, expatriates on long-term contracts, or settled foreigners, even immediate former President Mwai Kibaki. Muthaiga is approximately 4 km north of Nairobi city center. Mathare is a slum located 5 kilometers from downtown Nairobi and is a collection of 6 villages and is not identified on the official global map. The slum, one of the oldest in Africa, is home to over 500,000 households, all confined within 3 square mile stretch of land. Survival is a daily struggle, only reserved for the fittest. Nobody comes to the slums. The residents are on their own. Livelihood bets on a backdrop of poverty, lack of basic amenities, among a myriad of social complexities. A study carried out by the Ministry of Education found that 1 in 4 children of primary school age either left school without any qualifications or have never been to school in the first place.
My name is Melody Atieno. I learn at Msedo Beijing School. Msedo is a good school which passes knowledge to pupils and the way we play football.
Msedo was started because my director felt that there was need to start an education program for the children because he found that so many children were just loitering around without going to school and yet they were school-age children. So when he came up with this plan, he was targeting these children that had no place to go to. Most of them, because they were vulnerable, their parents could not be able to take them to school. And you find that before this coming of free ECD centers in the public schools, so you find that most ECD centers were privately owned and they were more expensive for parents of Mathare to manage. So you find that there were so many school-going children that were not going to school just because of that. Most of the parents don't actually pay fee because we charge very little fee, and that little that we charge, not most of them are able to pay. So there are people who are able to pay very little amount than what we require, so we allow them to pay whatever little amount they can pay. And then there are those parents who can't pay at all. So they are here, let me say, on a charity basis.
My names are Rose Owendi Alembi, Mama Medrin Atieno Alembi. I do nothing, I'm just a housewife. To bring up this to the kids, we need money, we need support, but my husband is just a jua kali. Today he gets, tomorrow he misses. Umetoka shot. Gari ya kushinda. Mbona unatembea kaa hujatengeneza kola?
Niko nimesahau.
Sometimes you see they have been sent away for school fees. It's not my wish to sit idle, but I want to do something to help him. You know, economy is raising each and every time. So for him to raise the family, it's difficult. You see we miss some things in the house, but we can't tell.
With a minimal wage of $2 a day in Mathare, food is a fundamental right prescribed in the 2010 Kenyan Constitution. But that is not the case for most residents of Mathare, as families can only afford to purchase and consume 1 meal a day.
There is this challenge of children coming to school hungry, so there is this challenge of food. we are unable to feed them well, but with the little that we get from their parents, we manage on how to feed the kids, though it's not sufficient for them. But we try all our best to make them that they get the little we get.
At least we got food in the school. You find that this meal is the only meal that these children depend on.
There are about 500,000 youth who graduate from various tertiary institutions yearly, ready to enter the job market every year. However, due to the slow economic growth, corruption, nepotism, and demand for experience by potential employers, 75% remain unemployed. With this, the rate of crime increases gradually, especially within the formal settlements.
I'm the chairman of this car wash you see here. We also sell water. We started this because we saw a lot of crime, we saw a lot of unemployment amongst young people, especially those who are finishing class 8 or from 4, and also school dropouts. And we thought we need to do something because crime then was very high.
Muaga DJ na siku hizi ma DJ wamekuwa wengi sana mpaka hakuna job. Hii job hunisaidia, niko na familia na bila hii job kwangu kusosiagwi. So mimi kama hapa kwa hustle na get ganji ya familia kukula every day.
Nimekuwa na passion ya kuacta ever since nikuwe mtoi mdogo. Juu nimekuwa nikiona hizo ndio vitu zimekuwa zikimake ganji. Lakini for now ambapo tumenifikisha mpaka kuuza Mokimoni venye hizi movie kupatikana ni rare. Hadi hizo auditions ni ngumu msee kupata huku ghetto. So kuliko mimi niingilie crime na kufanya mambo za madre, ilibaki niingilie 2Bs nikingojaga at least one day one time najua God anifungulia njia. Pengine nda prosper. Ambapo hiyo ndio my prayer.
Najua nilikuwa mwanzo nilikuwa nafanya kazi yangu na National Cereals and Produce Board kama storekeeper, nikafutwa kwa ufupi. Nikajaribu barua zingine lakini nikaona bado hazinibambi. Nikapata na rafiki yangu mwingine akaniambia badala ukaaga hapa hivi ukiombaga chakula nini, hebu twende hivi. Akanipatia gunia akabeba yake na tukaondoka hivyo na tukaanza hivyo maisha vile ilianza hiyo kazi ya Hustler.
As a youth, living in ghetto is like carrying your life with your hands, knowing well that it can drop anytime.
My name is extrajudicial killing candidate, and an OCS somewhere is expecting me to pass, so let me pass this message before I pass.
It's like a grass smoke, if I may say, because you're not only struggling with basic needs, you're also struggling with other humans who think that they are better than other people. Yeah, and this is when you come across with the killer cops who tend to like criminalize everyone.
In May 2017, the community organization in Mathare recorded police killing 57 men and women, allegedly for links to crime.
When you talk about survival, people will use different means. There are those that will use their art, and there are those that will tend to use the immediate whatever is there, you know, like the role models that we've grown looking at. They are not the kind of people to be admired in the community, but those are the only people that are available to look up to. We look up to gangsters, yeah, and we look up to people who sell drugs. We look up to, you know, all these kind of people. And now, when you're in this situation, it becomes so hard for a youth now who is growing, you know, you are energetic, you also you're experiencing, your body changes, you know, and you're there, you want to roll like other people, you need good clothes, you need to look, but now you don't have any other means. You're not educated, you cannot get good job, you know. And some who have like those grades are still in the community, so it also lowers the morale of those who want also to go back to school. Now when you become creative in that way, now that's where now the killer cops comes in. There is this notion of like people from ghetto don't contribute to the economy of our country, and that's why now they are being killed anyhow.
You police! You're killing us in our communities. Poor communities.
With a gap between the government and the population of the informal settlement, especially on service delivery as enshrined in the Bill of Rights, local and international organizations are trying to bridge the gap that the government has been unable to facilitate.
I'm one of the co-founders and the Kenya field representative for Canada Mathare Education Trust, an organization that takes needy and bright scholars to high school and also to university from Mathare. We also a leadership program whereby we encourage young people from Mathare to be more confident, to be leaders, also to take care of the environment that they're living in and try to be the change makers that we want to see. So primarily we support kids to go to high school and also university.
I'm who I am today for CME Trust. CME Trust has been more than a guide, has been like the pillar of my success, if I may say it, academic success and social success. Today I believe being born in slums, especially in Mathare, is a privilege.
What Femme International does is educate girls about menstruation from pre-teens up to menopause. So our training is very core in terms of what menstruation is, how it comes about, and what products, how to use the products that we distribute. The girls have a choice of what product they want to choose because we believe that menstruation is not a one-size-fits-all solution. We do give them a choice between the menstrual cup and the reusable pads.
Molu Foundation is an organization that started back in 2007 officially. We started training kids in photography, but over the years we have evolved to include other things like film production and also the training of film production. Over the years we have evolved to also include other projects, like we have a project called School Outreach Project where we train kids in schools in basic photography skills. We also have a project called Binti Project. We train ladies, girls that are immediately from high school in photography and digital literacy. We also have another project called Junior Members Project where we have kids in high schools that we give mentorship to over the holidays. We also have our annual event. It's called the African Slum Photo Festival that gives young upcoming photographers from the slums an opportunity to grow.
All my life nimekuwa kama orphan, but through the help of an organization, nimekuwa sponsored throughout my education, primary and high school, of which hapo ndo pale growth yangu ya creativity na photography imekuwa evolved na it was once created.
We built a 5-story primary school in Mathare. We bought it from a South Korean nursery school. It consisted of one main floor and an unfinished second floor and a basement. We brought into the school a sewing program for single moms where they would come and bring their children with them. That evolved to the women learning how to make dresses, and we made cosmetic bags and iPad bags out of the used cement bags, matching them with Kanga. We cleared out the basement and we created a clinic, and in Kenya, a public clinic usually is comprised of 7 rooms. After we did that, I managed to get an interview with the CEO of Gertrude's Children's Hospital. And they had a clinic in Githogoro, but they wanted to open another one. And so they chose us and said they would open another outreach clinic in the school. They were focusing on young babies and young mothers, but they did immunizations in the slum, and Project Chance Africa supplied the medical equipment. And Gertrude's provided the medicines and the professionals.
First ukiambia msi umetoka ghetto, kuna venye hata kama we ni mpoa aje, still kuna venye ita click kwa mind yake we si mtu mzuri juu ya stories zenye zi come out of ghetto. Na get kuna madem kuget dumbo, early pregnancies, sometimes some of them wanaenda kwa boat, kuna kuporwa, kuna cases tu mingi mbaya.
The number one challenge here is unemployment. They're actually not young. When someone finishes Form 4, they're not really young. At that age, they are past adolescent, so they want to start families, they want to be independent, they want to move out of their parents' houses, and they cannot do that without employment. In Kenya, I think it takes about 5 to 7 years before you get like a proper job after leaving high school. So you see, this is a big challenge.
Ignorance is a challenge. Maybe most of the parents are ignorant about awareness.
Some kids, they don't go to school, they go to bake in town there, in Isili there, so that they can get food to eat.
Most of the children, as early as class 6, are already introduced to drugs. So it becomes a challenge for the parents to be able to control these children at as early as class 6 that have started using drugs.
We don't have a proper disposal system, yeah? As you know, we have Mathare River around. So we don't have a place where garbage is disposed properly. So it is scattered all over. In fact, that's a factor that can cause an outbreak, yeah?
Hata ukitembea utakutana na mtaro mingi zimejaa na zingine pia zinapita katikati ya nyumba zetu.
The children get sick all the time, especially during the rainy season when everything is floating around and it's floods. Well, you can't go into Mathare without seeing that water is a problem. You see jerry cans everywhere. There is a water tap in Mathare, but it's not free.
We buy water 5 shillings per jerry can.
We bought more tanks to make sure that we have a steady supply of water throughout, because from Monday till Friday we don't have water in the taps. So we depend with water that we have in the tanks. We had to close our bathrooms because we had bathrooms, but we didn't have enough water.
Most of the time, we would ask the children to at least come with a 5 jerry can of water from wherever they could find that water from, because within the Mathare slums, it was very hard for that water to be found. They would go to other places aside from Mathare, like the outskirts of Mathare. Some of them would get water as far as from Moifoses. Some of them could get even water from Huruma, just to get that 5 liters to be able to help them with flushing the toilets, maybe drinking, you know. But it has been a very big challenge.
So a day we can use from 20 jerry cans per day. That is about 300 in a day, because you have to buy water and pay the person who is fetching that water. So that's a major challenge, because when the water lost, we will have to hire a mkokoteni or a cart to go for water further distance. That's very much costly.
So when people are menstruating, the challenge of access to water becomes even more problematic, because do you wash menstrual products? Do you wash the underwear with water, or do you conserve the water that you have to cook, clean, and do the essential sanitation things that you need at home?
Luckily enough, from SEDO, we recently had a well-wisher who dug for us a borehole.
Yeah, the borehole initiated by the Project Chance has really helped them SEDO children academically by helping what I can call class retention, because now the students are not being disturbed to go home and bring water. And then like nowadays it is very sunny. Students consume a lot of water because of thirst. They can easily run to the taps drink water, then go back to class. And I think that one improves their academic progress. Yeah, and also we have bathrooms which we've created. Some of them can decide when they feel a lot of heat, can go and take bath and run back to class. So it has really improved their learning.
At least it can support the people that are living closely around the school. But now what about the rest of the Mathare people? It is still a challenge. Most of these girls cannot be kept in school fully because of issues with school fees. So you find most of the times they'll be sent back to the village to get that money. In fact, last time I had a case of a class 6 girl who had joined a group of girls who dropped out of school. So she's just in class 6 at the age of 12, and she had already known how to go with men to look for money.
Na pia watoi madem pia wako na shida pia, ukiangalia pia kwa nini kwa mtaa, hata kama wewe ni si mtu wa mtaa, ukiangalia mtaa yetu madem si wengi.
Most of the girls here in Mathare, they don't have people who can set them down and tell them at this age something like this is going to happen.
Hata kwa wamama pia unaweza pata kama mzee labda ana kipato kizuri, atashtuka tu ameingia tu hata kwa usherati.
One of the biggest challenges that women in the communities where we work face is the stigma. The stigma that comes around with menstruation makes them not speak openly about it. So, and not being open about what is happening with your body is very dangerous because it could lead to medical issues, and if not treated early enough can also hamper your reproductive health, which is something that is quite common. Another challenge women in the communities where we work face is accessibility, cleanliness of the toilets where they're expected to change the menstrual pads and cups. Some of the toilets are not located in a close, especially the public toilets, they're not in a nearby area, meaning that girls are exposed to threats such as abuse, rape on their way to these toilets. Or rather, when they're closer, maybe they're so unclean, they do not have a lock, they don't have a place where they can wash their hands within the bathroom. So toilet design is something that a lot of people need to really look into to see how we can improve them to make them more comfortable, safe, and hygienic for girls to use during their periods.
Boys really don't face a lot of problems. Okay, they really face, but not really a lot like girls.
The girls are being over-empowered and the boys are being forgotten. So, you know, if the boys are being forgotten and the boys themselves too are realizing that they are being forgotten, who will bring them up? Who will listen to their cry? Who will hold their hands like the girls? Everybody is holding the girls' hands. So if my boy in class 6 will realize this, then it means that these other boys too have realized this. The community should take care of all the children. All the children are now delicate. The girls are delicate and the boys are so much delicate that if left in the near future, we won't have responsible boys.
Our schools are very much neglected by the government, so there is nothing that we get from the government. So everything we sustain our children with is from our pockets and from parents' pockets. So there is no we are able to reach the government or the area representative, the government representative in this area. It is very difficult, it is very hard. So we just find our ways to maneuver on how to feed these children and to keep them safe and to keep their life going.
My dream is to speak for those children who cannot speak for themselves. Maybe because they are demoralized or something, because they don't have that voice to speak.
There are endless stories to be told in and about Mathare, and endless ways of telling them. We have chosen to show the devastating poverty, hardships, and challenges of surviving in the slums, but also the burning pride, spirit, and dedication of Mathare residents to overcome their circumstances and create better and meaningful lives for themselves and their families.
We don't have homes in Mathare. Let's say we just have shelter, because you feel at home where you feel at home without being told, feel at home.
We also want to demonstrate the importance of participation of all of us to assist the efforts of these young activists through the provision of financial support, no matter how large or small. It is indeed a small price to pay for all we have learned from them.
Karibu kwa mtaa yenye inaaminekania wezi na kusucceed hatuwezi. Mtaa yenye hewa sisi breathe yote ni insult. Na ukirudi nataka uambie hivi. Waambie apart from sisi kuwa wakora pia tuko na the best footballers wenye wamekaa tu base wakichomwa na sola. The best singers who can sing songs that can swing in your mind to remind you of the positive things that we are capable of doing. The best actors design wakiact, Oscar Awards inaheldiwa ghetto. The best dancers wenye wanaweza dance news ama wa dance national anthem. The best DJs who can scratch your negative attitude and spin you back to a normal human. Tuko na the best rappers design wakirap Kanye Western na sound kama Kenya ni from Western. We are diamonds in the dust. Tumechafuka after some people kutuchafua, and we just need someone kutupanguza, cause we are ready to shine to this world. Welcome. Kama utembe kwetu ghetto, kama utembe kwa mtaa ya mastaa aweka. Kama utembe kwetu ghetto, kama utembe kwa mtaa ya mastaa aweka. Aweka. Kama utembe kwetu ghetto, kama utembe kwa mtaa ya mastaa aweka.